This would be the fourth installment of our podcast, Chamber Chatter. In which case, I'm very happy that people are interested in said podcast so that you guys can basically share a topic that you guys would really like to talk about and speak your mind freely about almost any topic that you can think of. But in this case, we have a new guest by the name of Robert who really wanted to talk about a certain topic. But before we do that, allow me to just give a little rundown of how this podcast works. I always do that with everyone so that everyone is clear on the on this whole ordeal. So what happens is we basically take turns on talking, basically, so that everyone has the time to say the things that they want to say without being interrupted. Because I find it very important that people can speak their minds freely, and that's exactly what I want to encourage. So that's why we do things in turn, so to say. And that's why in between, I write things down so that I'm listening actively and then also can pick up on the things that you have said. And if you want to do the same, you can also do that, unless you have a very, very strong memory, which I don't, that you can also do it that way. But it's entirely dependent on you. Now, before we begin, Robert, I will give you this time to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself in any way or form you like, and then continue on with the topic or one of the topics that you wanted to talk about and start from there. And then in between, we will go back and forth with the things that you have to share. So, Robert, and introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you like to do? Etc.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me. My name is Robert Ravensly. I am a Dampier starting VTuber, and I do a variety of games and stuff like that. My hobbies are gaming, airsoft, going to the gym sometimes, and looking at beautiful places.
Okay. Short and sweet. Thank you for your introduction. I do see that airsoft thing because I too used to do airsoft. And I know 100% that I would absolutely shit on you in airsoft. So, but that's beside the point. The point now is the topic at hand. What would you like to talk about?
Um, To be honest, I would like to talk about the extreme high standards that VTubers or streamers are being held to by the community or just the viewers, which is a serious problem sometimes.
All right. Now about the topic at hand, of course, with you introducing the topic, it is then up to you to also share the things that you want to say about this topic that you mentioned.
Okay, thank you. Would you like me to start or?
Sorry, I'm just cracking up. But yes, indeed, that's
No
basically
worries.
the thing, as I've explained earlier. But yes, it
Okay.
is indeed your turn to start, Sam. That's what I was waiting for.
Okay, so basically, what I wanted to start with is the problem that I have noticed between different streamers, different VTubers, that the people who watch them, the viewers, the subscribers, even the large donators and stuff like that, they have the feeling that streamers or VTubers are basically they have to be perfect in their eyes. So they cannot do any mistakes. They cannot say anything that um, does not like include or that is not acceptable by the society. For example, we recently had a problem with the VTuber Cinder, which is really sad to hear because she is an amazing person. Yet she did make a mistake, and everyone is. Can I curse in this podcast? Um,
Anything goes. Anything
okay,
goes in
okay.
this podcast. You can talk about the topics that you really want to talk about. They can't even be NSFW topics. So there's absolutely no issue with saying fuck ass titties, balls, fucking, I don't know, whatever swear words they can
Okay.
figure out.
Okay, so basically, which is really sad. It's a shitty thing to do that she did, of course, but her manager also did the same mistake. But it's like they act as if she is not human. Same goes for a streamer called Nick Murs. He said something which I completely agree with, yet he got shit on by the entire Twitch community, streamer community, and like streamers and VTubers, they are just human. They are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. And everyone has to understand that. Yet some people or some viewers seem to mistake the part that it's like that they so-called live on a screen, and that is not the thing with it. It's yeah, it's a really sad thing that a lot of people forget, and a lot of people have to be reminded of course. Also,
All
Dragonfire,
right.
thank you for the compliment.
So to pick up on that, the to pick up on that, the standards are indeed a thing that it is something that is being forced upon newer streamers or newer VTubers that if you don't have this, then you will never make it. In which case, even if you would have the craziest model there to exist, right? If there is anything um, that would be so groundbreaking, for example, then even then you would not be able to quote unquote make it, right? Um, there is an exception, and the best exception that I could give would be Zentrea, but that's an entirely different thing because Zen has her own team of software developers, her own program to really get that tracking as accurately as you'd know Zen's shenanigans to be. But aside from Zen, there's another, not really a VTuber, but you could consider it a VTuber, is AI Angel, which isn't that known, but if you do look her up, like it is very cyberpunk inspired. And the technology behind the capture and the facial tracking or face tracking, whatever, is so top notch quality, and the tech is absolutely insane. But even then, not a lot of people know of her. And even if she would be streaming, there aren't really a lot of people that tune in. So even if you have the craziest things, it doesn't matter. That's why standards should not be a thing. Personally, the thing that helps the most, and that's not necessarily in making it work or being able to make it, so to say, is having a concept that isn't done yet. That's why, for example, Zen has that audience as well. I mean, not only for for that unique thing that she has or that she debuted with, her extreme facial or face tracking and all that stuff. But it is still something that is noticeable, and that was new at that time. And that's why that really picked up really well. So that's why you need to have something innovative for people to tune in, that they are like, oh my God, we haven't seen this before. And that's with everything. In terms of content creation, VTubing, VTuber models, even in movies, even in video games, if there is something that has not been done yet and it is good, people will see it. So that's why it is really, really important to just not follow, well, to just not follow standards, because whatever people are telling you to do, it is not going to work. How many times have you, like, as a smaller streamer, me included, by the way, but as a smaller streamer, looked up some kind of a video on how to grow your stream or how to improve your stream or how to get more viewers and all that kind of shit? How many times have you watched videos like that, done those exact things, but still get nowhere? Why do you think that happens? That's because everyone does it. Everyone does those things, and that's why it just doesn't work anymore. Back in the day when the internet was rather new, when things could be put out there on the interwebs for all to see, then at that time there wasn't much to look at really. But now there is so much of anything. You can find anything, and that's something that, yeah, you just had to be there earlier in order to quote unquote make it big today. So that's why making it big or following whatever standards that other people are saying, just don't do that. Be yourself and take things in an approach that only you can do so. That's something that I would always say for people who want to start out as a content creator or as a VTuber. Besides, the current standards of VTubers are either having giant tits in your face that are more boob than VTuber or shark VTubers. Plus, indeed, what you said is that VTubers are still just human beings. And with that same situation as well, is regardless of what's happening though, or regardless of the following of an individual or a VTuber, I feel like the accountability should always be there. No matter how large your following is, the things that you did, you are still a human being. That's always something that I've said before. That's everyone here on this planet is just as much of a human being as anyone else. No matter what your following is, you're just the same. You're just a human being, just like anyone else. Therefore, there should not be some kind of an excuse or some kind of a security just because you have a larger audience or that you're more famous or popular, that therefore the actions that or the things that you did, that you are therefore not accountable for those fuck ups that you did. And that's something really wrong. And that's something that everyone, every single VTuber, every single content creator, every single person on this fucking planet should be held accountable for the fuck ups that they have committed. It's really that simple. But nowadays, people just have this giant shield of, oh, I am popular. I am behind this company. You can't touch me. And that's really dangerous because that is something that will piss people off to the point, and it has already happened before, that there will be some kind of a huge backlash, usually on Twitter. And that's exactly what happened with Cinder. So that's my first intake on that. So what would you like to say? Or is there another thing that you would like to add to this?
Okay, I get that. It's a really great intake, by the way. The thing that I'm just talking about is basically that every single thing that they do is being monitored. You cannot have. That's the reason why I want to become a VTuber, or why so many people want to become a VTuber. Excuse me, is because they definitely do want that form of privacy. Yet, the the problem is that even if it's a small mistake, like of course Cinder and stuff like that, they made a big mistake. It's a really bad fuck up. Yet there is like smaller streamers and stuff like that. Um, they if they make a small mistake, like they say something on stream, or for example, um, like someone who is in that room with them, they say something bad, and that streamer laughs with that. The problem with that is the people in their stream are going to feel like that person is a bad person from then that point on. The I think that the viewers and the community in general have to be a bit more forgiving in um, in terms of how people react to certain fuck ups. Of course, there is a degree on how bad it can become, and how big your mistake is. Of course, like if you say you hurt an animal, for example, yeah, don't forgive that shit. You do something illegal, don't forgive that. Yet, if you say a joke or if you say something that would that people would like, some people or most people don't like, for example, dark humor. Not everyone is a fan of that. But if that is your type of humor and you say a dark humor joke on stream, people have the like uh, people will start to see you in a different spotlight. It doesn't matter if you are a big VTuber or a small VTuber or even just a big or small streamer. The moment that you say something bad, those standards that are set by the viewers, by the community, is something that can kill or make or break a VTuber. So, for example, those Vtubers, they obviously have a community that's like their spiciness on stream. But as soon as they would stop with that spiciness, as soon as they would say something like, "Hey, I'm done being spicy" and stuff like that, they will instantly lose their followers. Like, they have a view of those people, and that view will get crushed as soon as they say something bad or say something um like that the viewers do not like. It's a really toxic relationship, in my opinion. Sometimes, at least.
No, right. No, well, what you've said here, again, that's why you see me looking like back and forth. That's because I'm typing things at the speed of sound. Um, but what I've written here is with you saying that whenever a VTuber or content creator says something on stream that would be seen as quote unquote bad, that therefore they're just not going to like it. It really depends on the viewer in that case. If there are viewers that like that kind of content, then that is well within their rights to stay, whether or not, they want to stay or not. And if there are people that they don't like it, there's absolutely no obligation to stay in said stream. Again, just because you say something quote unquote bad or to what would be considered bad in today's day and age, that doesn't mean that everyone therefore is going to leave. So it depends on what the individual person or the individual viewer likes to see or not. Whether it is something that they see like, oh, other people find it offensive, maybe I should also not be here. No, it's entirely up to the individual whether they want to stay or not. Um, so, and that's the thing. Communities stick around because they like the VTuber or the content creator and the person that is the content creator because they have the same interest or the same kind of humor, something relatable to them. That's why they stay. Um, there are no communities that are so large around VTubers specifically or content creators where they would stay because they don't like them. But that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense there. And that's why, of course, there are communities that really want drama or really want to stick around for some kind of a drama content creator, which exists, which probably a lot of them exist. But that's entirely dependent on the individuals themselves, whether or not they want to stay there for that content specifically. So again, so even if I would say, I mean, to be fair, perfect example. I did say some things on Twitter that would be considered racist and transphobic. We've already gone over this a million times. And while I would agree to the way that people could perceive it, it is not the way that I intended it. And that's a big difference. And that's why people should, if they really want to know someone, then they should just talk to them. And that's really important to really know the person that you're dealing with. And a couple of days ago, we watched a video of someone going to random strangers and talk to them. And was this one individual that had this very powerful phrase of, I am not what you think I am. You are what I think what you think I am. So it basically boils down to whatever your prejudice is without really knowing the person is not going to be right 99% of the time, right? So with that, it is really important to really understand and know the person that you're dealing with before you're making any kind of assumptions. And that's something that's really popular today, is that people will just jump to conclusions and just be like, oh, this person must be like that because of this because this person said that, then 100% that this has to be that kind of person, right? Which in case is not true. If you really want to get to know someone, you just have to spend time with them. It's that simple. And of course, not everyone has to spend time with one another, but that's entirely up to them. And I think this will also roll in really well with the other topic that you wanted to talk about, which was something that I also see here in chats is the term parasocialism. But before we go to that, you also mentioned those Vtubers, for example, when they are being spicy and whatever, showing their titties all over the place, promoting their fans, the OnlyFans, whatever. That those kind of content creators create their audience knowing fully well that that is the audience that stays specifically for that content. So if they make a decision to not be spicy or not be lewd anymore, then if they leave, that's again well within their rights, because originally those people that tune in for those or during the lewd content, they are there. And if they stick around, at least, they are there specifically for that content. And of course, if that content is no longer there, then it is well within their rights to indeed just leave that fucking content creator or VTuber or whatever. And again, it comes down to the loyalty of the community, whether or not they want to stay. If they still like the individual that is the content creator or VTuber, then if they still want to stay because they like them, then that's fine. That's also okay. But they don't have the obligation. It is well within their rights to leave that lewd content creator that for some reason stopped doing the lewd stuff because there is no such content anymore, and that's well within their rights. So that's about about this one thing still. About that post that I made. I know I was going a bit of a side tangent on the things that you said. That's because, again, I write things down and was just going down this list. So, for example, in my case, when I said that about basically TLDR, what I said is that I feel that inclusivity should be for every. I don't really want to say race because there's only the human race, but for anyone, inclusivity is people of all ethnicities. Basically, that's what I'm all for. That's what it should be. But people got that out of context. They're saying, "Oh, you are racist." Like, no, like I'm saying that literally everyone on the planet should be included when you're talking about inclusivity. That's the point. But yeah, and then in other posts about things that I personally disagree with, but it doesn't mean that I therefore hate the other community, about the LGBT community, in which case there are people that are trans within our community, which I have absolutely zero issues with. It's just that they have some points, which are perfectly fine. And I also have my points, my opinions that I'm like, yeah, I don't really agree with that, but that doesn't mean that I'm against you. And then people pull that up completely out of context saying like, oh, you are being transphobic. It's like, no, I just don't agree with you. That's a big difference. And that's something, again, these prejudices, as you've mentioned before as well, Robert, that they will not show up or they will not like a specific person because they said something, even though they don't really know what the person is or what the person is like that they're dealing with.
Yeah, that's completely right. People do jump to conclusions way too fast this day and age. But also, pulling things out of context is also a big problem, especially amongst streamers and VTubers. The the things that I say sometimes to my friends at work, they definitely say like that I'm a racist, but I'm not, because I do have friends of different beliefs, different skin colors, and stuff like that. Yet, it's for me, it's just the humor that is that I like. It's not that I'm going to be like, hey, let's punch that person just because he has a different skin color. I also said once that when um, when people come to Belgium, they should definitely accept the norms and terms of this country. Yet people do jump in conclusions or out of conclusion, and they do take things indeed out of context. The context. My apologies, chiefs, and that is why people say like, "Hey, this person is that. This person is that." Um, and yeah, that's a really bad thing. It's the same as um, me saying like, "Hey, about trans people, for example." I don't have any problem with trans people either. I think some of them are great people, great personalities. I love hanging out with them because I do know some trans people, and I don't have any problems with them. The only thing that I have a problem is when they try to uh, force things upon me. For example, there was a and that person is still my friend, by the way. He is gay. He's part of the LGBTQ community, and he told me once that he likes to be spoken to with the pronouns they them, and instead of just me accepting that, I went a bit on a um, bad laugh, let me say it like that, and he didn't like that. But after a while, he definitely did. Like I asked him, what do you mean with they them? Because in my opinion, because I am 28 years old right now, and I go raised with the old sample, like two genders, all that stuff. And I asked him like, or they I asked them, like, what do you mean with them, they, them? Because in my opinion, that is a group of people, they, them. Like you say to a person, like, hey, who did that? Yeah, it's them over there, or they did that. That is a group of people. Yet people who identify as they, them, and stuff like that. I have no problem with that. Just do not force your uh, I don't want to sound rude, and this is definitely not meant rude, but do not force your beliefs on me. I mean, that's that. I know it sounds rude. I don't have a problem with them. It's just like I believe in what I believe, and they believe in what they believe. Same as religion and stuff like that. Um, but people will, especially keyboard warriors, if you do not know that term, look it up. They will jump to conclusions. They will definitely take things out of context, and I will be the bad guy. Like it's a pretty bad thing that is happening, and like I said, that is a really bad thing for streamers because you have to be acceptable of everyone. Basically, you have to include everyone, every skin color, every belief, or yeah, belief, and every sexuality, which I am completely fine with, but do not force your things upon other people. That is the biggest problem, in my opinion. And when streamers don't do that, that's their thing. But if people say like, "Hey, welcome to the stream. I really appreciate it," and but do not force your thing onto others. They still do what they want, then it's suddenly like that person is a transphobe, that person is a homophobe, that person is racist, all that stuff. And that's why I prefer not to talk about sexuality or um, I mean, sexuality is okay, but especially beliefs and politics and stuff like that, because one person has a different view on someone else as soon as they know about what their politic stand is, basically. So, for example, in Belgium, we have the Het Vlaams Belang. I don't know how you say that in English or how to pronounce it. It's basically Republican. As soon as you vote on that, people will always say you're a bad person. Yet it's not that you vote on that because my family does vote on them, but I don't really. It depends, definitely. Yet it's something that people need to understand that everyone is just a human being and everyone can be whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, and it's not their job to pull conclusions or pull things out of context and stuff like that. It's like just accept how everyone is and accept everyone's limits. That's what the problem is with streamers and stuff like that. It's people do not accept um the limits of said streamer. Like that standard is way too high, raised way too high, and some streamers, yeah, it will make or break a streamer, in my opinion.
Okay, cool. It's actually kind of interesting to see that you brought up this thing about Vlaams Belang, which, funnily enough, is something that I did talk about on stream, about this politic issue of how Belgium is not exactly a safe place, especially Brussels. And for those that live in Belgium, all know exactly what I'm talking about. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, that aside, it's a neat, like, this idea of prejudice just being a thing that people see, like, oh, you think that way, you are 100% this. Is like, no, this is like the only thing that you've heard from me. There's absolutely no thing that you can therefore say that you, like, anything that you say in the lines of you knowing exactly who I am is absolutely fucking wrong. And that's why that one phrase that I've seen, or that we have seen together on stream, about this individual was like a dude in a wheelchair, he was absolutely fucking great. Like, he was a gay individual too. No issues with that again. But he was so fucking nice and friendly. I would love to be his real life friend. But basically, again, this one phrase that he said is that I am not who you think I am. You are who you think I am. Now, sorry, sometimes this is a bit of a tongue twister, but it's therefore really important is that if you jump to these prejudices, that says way more about you than it says about me. So again, people should really, really stop doing that. But again, in today's day and age, it's just really, really fucking popular nowadays. That's like, oh yes, you are 100% this person. I will stay in my bubble and never talk to anyone whatsoever, because it is beneficial to me. And that's also a thing that I've also said about: do not believe your own ideologies upon someone else, which has been tried, like someone intended that to do to me, which is also something along the lines of what you said about your colleague wanted to be referred to as they, them, to which I'm also like from that point of they, them usually means, plural, as in multiple people. But if that makes them happy, then that's good for them. But I am not going to agree in that sense that I will adapt your ideologies upon myself. And I am not going to enforce my ideologies upon that other person. I will never do that. No one should do that to one another, because that always has the opposite effect. Because when you force something upon people, like how many times, like, best example that I could give, if your parents back in the day when you were a kid told you not to do something, what are you going to do? Of course you're going to do it. So that's why it always has the opposite effect of people wanting to enforce something. It is not going to work. So that's why it is really important to just let people be as they are. Don't force your own ideologies upon someone else. And if someone wants to follow you in your ideologies or thoughts or beliefs, they will do so automatically whenever they themselves want to, not because you ask them to. It's the same thing with, like, love and respect. It is not something that you should demand of people. It is something that you should earn from people. But again, people are just so fucking needy that they're like, oh, I am this now. You must comply to all the things that I say, which is absolutely fucking wrong. No one should do that whatsoever from any fucking side. But yeah, it's also, yeah, a thing that I also agree in with the thing that you mentioned about Vlaams Belang, which is a political party that is vastly known in Belgium to be a racist fucking party that wants a completely white Europe and all that kind of things, which is, agreed, something that they said way back in the day. But that's because the previous dude who ran that fucking party was a complete idiot. I still think that he is. But the current one that we have now, as in Tom van Grieken, he is an absolute fucking legend, and that is someone that I would follow 100%. And in fact, I do follow him. So, um, The thing is that it's also something that I keep saying over and over again, something that he said. And what he said is, I don't care whether you are white, black, yellow, green, purple, pink, doesn't fucking matter. That's the people who we are going to make the people who integrates and follow the country standards and norms. Those are the people that we are going to be making the Flanders or the Flemish people of tomorrow with. But if you come in here basically to raid our villages, to set our cities on fire, literally, to rape our people, literally, those people are not welcome here whatsoever. And that makes sense. That makes fucking sense. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't care what ethnicity you are, even if you would be Belgian here in this case. If you are Belgian, for example, if you were born and raised in Belgium, and if you kill someone, I still think that you need to be fucking kicked out of the country, just, sit in jail for the rest of your fucking life. So it doesn't matter. But also, if I, for example, would go to Germany or to Saudi Arabia or something, and I do something stupid there, I would also expect people to get me the fuck out of the country. It makes fucking sense. If you want to go to a country to live there, then you should be actually living there, as in put on, respect the standards that are in that country. For example, if I would go to Japan, dude, the standards there are so much stricter. They're not really stricter, but more. It is way more focused to the utmost highest respect to everyone, to every individual. And that is something that I really respect about the Japanese, is that they are so sweet, they are so nice, but they are so respectful as well, always. And when people, like, if people go to that country, which people do, for example, especially those influencers, you have definitely seen it before, where usually American influencers would go to Japan and absolutely disrupt the peace of the Japanese commoner, like metro stations, bus stations, on the streets. Then I feel like those people should be kicked out. I feel like people should be kicked out of the country. But that's just the thing that I would do, that I would agree on. But Ninja, the topic is basically the prejudices of people that should be, the prejudice of people that shouldn't be a thing in the first place. But we went from VTubers as into how VTubers of content creators are seen dependent on what the viewer, what the viewer is seeing, for example, in a VTuber content creator, and where that prejudice is always something that people will be saying, like, oh, that VTuber, that bad person, they have said that, better watch out. And that's basically the thing that is just all over the world, not just with VTubers or content creators. But going back to the VTuber topic, which is also something, that one topic that I want to go back to, that you also want to talk about, is the this idea of parasocialism, which is also something that you wanted to tackle. So what is something that you wanted to talk about that?
Okay. I agree with everything you just said, by the way. I do have to mention that. But yeah, the thing of parasocial is that, again, it's being things are being taken out of context. When a person, for example, I would say in stream, I would do the text to speech thing, and I would say, "Hey, I love you so effing much. You mean the world to me. One day without you, like you turn my life completely around." Some streamers will definitely be like, "Oh, that's a bit of parasocial." But what they do not understand is that parasocial is actually pretty dangerous, in my opinion. And you don't just have to throw the parasocial um, around. Basically, it's the same with racism and stuff like that. People throw that card way too many times. But like parasocial is basically a person who thinks he is in a relationship with a famous person, a person that actually does not know that other person. That is parasocial. It's a one-way relationship, not both ways. Excuse me. So what that means is basically people will throw that so fast to other people that viewers would be scared to basically say, "Hey, I love you." So what viewers will do instead is, "Hey, we love you," for example, so that they don't feel attacked. Because I was in a stream once and someone said that, "Hey, I love you so much," blah 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 blah, and that viewer instantly got banned or a timeout. Just and people ask like, "Hey, what's wrong? Why did he get banned?" Well, he is parasocial. That is what that streamer said. That is a parasocial SOB, and I do not deal with those people, which I completely disagree with. Because he just said, "I love your streams. I love you as a content creator. Nothing more." That's basically what he said, and people will still use that parasocial stuff to make themselves the victim, basically. I know there is this one streamer, I don't know how her name is. She's a VTuber, and someone was definitely parasocial because she was at a convention, and she got a gift from a viewer, and that viewer literally put a tracker in that gift and tracked her home. That is parasocial. You tracking someone, you literally bringing a sledgehammer to that said person's house and kicking in a window or breaking a window. That is parasocial. When someone says, "I love you," like Sabi, "I love you," as a streamer, um, that is not parasocial. That is definitely just being nice to other people. uh, Sorry, I just saw your face on stream. That is just being friendly to the streamer. That is just saying, "Hey, I appreciate what you're doing." And yes, they do go to that as extreme. Rest more people will definitely go to that extreme if they are sick in the head, and that is where these term parasocial comes from. But you can take that to different levels, of course. Like you can stay at home, you can go through all their social media and stuff like that. That is something that sometimes is acceptable. But as soon as you go further, like for example, you start to go to every convention, you take sneaky pictures and stuff like that. That turns the parasocial level 1 into parasocial level 2 with stalking. And then as soon as you put a tracker and stuff, yeah, that's straight up parasocial and stalking and harassment and stuff like that. But yeah, it is something that is a real problem in the VTuber community as well. Definitely in the VTuber community, because people, again, people like someone said, people want to fuck virtual characters these days, and they want to see that person IRL, how they are in their vulnerable state, the place where they think they are safe. Straight up yandere, indeed, yeah, Zipper, true. That's straight up yandere mode. But yeah, that's what people do. But it's like some streamers will take that stuff out of context, and that is also a problem for the viewers as well, because they are afraid of saying stuff to said viewer. They will be afraid to just tell their minds. Like the way that I look at your stream every day when I can, of course. But then some people, if I would say that in some people's Jesus, in some people's stream, hey, I'll look at your stream every single day. I love you and your content and stuff like that. They will say, "Hey, that's parasocial. Let's block that SOB." You know, that's yeah, something that I really really hate.
That is indeed something that I would agree on, is that parasocialism is indeed something that's being thrown around. That term, parasocial, is something that is tossed around, and that card is being pulled just way too quickly. Even though that individual, like, I feel that parasocialism is something that should be applied by like series of like consistent similar posting or reactions kind of thing. Like if it's happening constantly and gets like worse and worse, or like the level increases of how dramatic it is. Like, for example, if it starts with, I love your content, that's fine. I love your content and I look at your streams every day, that's also fine. I like your model, that's also fine. I like your big boobies, that's also fine in my opinion. Like if you have, you know, a VTuber that is just more booby than VTuber, then I feel like people have the right to say so. Because that's, you know, you're just asking for it. And if it gets to the point where people are literally saying, which by the way happened to be before, I am masturbating to you, that is a giant fucking red
Uh,
flag. Instantly. That's what you can indeed say, you know. Like it has happened to me before. Like it has happened to me before where people said like I masturbated to you. And not necessarily because of the NSFW artworks. Like if they would say like, hey, I enjoyed or I did that, you know, like I appreciate you liking my NSFW artworks. I mean, mine as in with my model. I didn't make it. Shout out to the artist. But I should not know what people do. And that's an entirely different thing. Like people, I don't mind, like, and I'm well aware that people have their fun with the NSFW artworks of my model, which is fine. But that doesn't mean that I should know what you do in your private time, right? That's something that I just don't need to know. But enjoy those, you know, things as you see fit. I don't care. Like, enjoy that. I hope that it makes you happy, but don't tell me what you're doing. um, but yeah, that parasocial thing is also something that has been thrown at me before. Especially with me being a huge fan of Zentrea, for example, is that way back in the day when I was a very wee bit real small uh, VTuber thing, PNG tuber, if that's what I wanted to say. Um, I have huge respect, and I still do. I have huge respect for Zentrea because of the things that she has done for me, but also for other people. Um, like I would really often talk about her a lot, and people did see that as parasocial, which I can understand. But again, that's usually coming from people who have not said a single word with me, and that's why with other people that know me in Zentrea's community, they actually know, like, oh, Tabby's actually really chill. Like, okay, which is also fine. And again, I have no issues with Zen or the community or anything. Perfectly fine. Um, but that was a thing that people thought of me. That, yeah, Tabby's parasocial. Tabby is super parasocial with Zentrea. It's like, oh, I just really want to show, like, hey, Zen is fucking awesome. Fuck you. You know, Zen is awesome, and there's nothing else that you can say about it that can change my mind. Um, so, and that's something that I just kept doing. But it's just that sometimes with certain communities or VTubers or whatever, there's also this thing with, how would I say it? Like kind of like selective parasocialism, right? In the sense that whenever certain VTubers have their favorite kind of person, that even though that favorite kind of person that they have is saying completely parasocial stuff, would not be seen as parasocial by that VTuber. Basically, what it boils down to is nepotism. And that is something that is also really dangerous because if there are rules, then I feel they should be applied to everyone. But if there are rules or if there are some people that are exempt from those rules because of nepotism, that is really wrong because then you're enforcing up rules to other people except for those specific people that somehow get a pass or something, which should not be the case. I feel like that should not be allowed because then people are just going to try to do the same thing. But then if they get called out, oh, you being parasocial, then it's like, what the fuck? I mean, that other person in your community says way worse shit that I have done, but why do they get a pass? Know what I mean? And it has happened before. It has happened before. And no, I'm not talking about Vishojo nepotism, which is nepotism in general. I'm not saying that. It's also kind of funny that the moment that I tossed around the word nepotism, people instantly think of Vishojo, which is something that I have seen in terms of like articles and Reddit articles of people saying like, oh, Vishojo is super nepotism and whatever. And to me, I feel like any company should be allowed to run in any way they see fit. It is entirely up to the individual that supports them whether or not they want to continue supporting them, yes or no, regardless of whether you see it as nepotism or not. So again, I feel like that's kind of subjective. But about that tracker thing that you mentioned, Robert, is something that I've also seen. I've indeed forgot which one that was. Was indeed a VTuber at a con or something, and then a fan, quote unquote fan, has basically put like a tracker in something like something like a bag or something, and indeed followed them all the way to their home, and then like police got involved and all that shit. But that's the thing, especially with VTubers, because the parasocialism is a bit bigger there with VTubers rather than slash VTubers or just content creators, whatever. That um, the people who enjoy VTubers and have a huge affection for a certain VTuber that goes to into the parasocial level just want to know what that VTuber looks like. That's what they want to know. That's why they go so up in that, because not only do they believe, like wholeheartedly, like, oh, I love you so very much, and this and that, and I want to be in a relationship with you, and I want to live with you, and all that kind of stuff, which is absolutely super parasocial stuff. That is really dangerous because then people really want to figure out where you live, what you look like, and basically track you down. And that's really dangerous. That's extremely fucking dangerous. And that's why there should be a difference in genuine, heartfelt love and support towards a VTuber and stalker behavior. I feel like parasocialism should be just equated to stalkering behavior rather than just showing a lot of support.
Yes, definitely. I think the fact that people have a certain name for that is, I mean, a good thing. Yet, I would call that more stalker. I wouldn't call that parasocial, to be honest. If you go up and beyond to follow someone home, I think that is just basically stalking or harassment, even. The By the way, face reveal when joke. Sorry. um, no, but it's like some people will definitely take the wanting to know someone, or wanting to know a person, how they look, how they live, what they are like personally. They will take that too far. You can definitely become streamer friends with a streamer eventually, if that's even a possibility. You can, for example, when I become a bigger streamer, I hope that I become a bigger streamer. By the way, it's Camilla. I just looked it up really quick. Camilla was the VTuber who got stalked home. Um, when I become a bigger streamer, I really want to make sure that, like you do, I want to engage with my viewers. Hell, maybe even become friends with my viewers and stuff like that. Yet, I will never reveal my face to them. Yet, if I become friends with other VTubers, and other streamers, and there is a possibility of meeting up, then yes, I will show my face. Because if I come there with like a hockey mask, that would look a bit weird. But like, yeah, but as soon as a camera will be turned on, I have a like one of those COVID masks. I don't know if you remember those. I will definitely put that on because I do want my um privacy to be protected. I don't want people to know how I look. It's just that the only people that are allowed to know how I look, where I live, how I am personally, that will be my fellow streamers or will be my family. That is, those are the only people that will be allowed that, and some viewers will not accept that. Some viewers, like the case in Camilla's case, will not accept that we do want to keep our privacy. That is why we become VTubers, why we become PNG tubers. We like our privacy, and we do want to be out there. We do want to be known, yet just not harassed on the streets when we walk past someone. That is something that is a thing that some viewers seem to forget, that price privacy is a key reason why people become VTubers.
And that is indeed the thing, and that's also exactly the reason why. Also, my fucking cat is demanding attention. But that's also the reason why I'm a VTuber, is because I still want to have some kind of a visual feedback for all of you to see, so you guys just don't see gameplay and maybe just an image moving up and down. No disrespect to you, for all the PNG tubers out there, because I started as a PNG tuber as well. Um, so the thing is, about stalker behavior, I've had that happen before. As in, like, this is not my first YouTube channel, YouTube channel and Twitch channel, um, because I've always wanted to be some kind of a content creator, right? And the issue is that it has already gotten to the point where people figured out where I lived. Then I had to move houses, basically. Uh, People figured out where I lived and were basically, showing up at my door and things like that, which was absolutely no fun. Police and court got involved, really no fun. So I've already had my fair share of that, and I had no way out anymore to be like some kind of a content creator with showing my face. So yeah, I wanted to know some kind of an option, like, hey, how could I still do streaming um, without showing my face? And I didn't really find anything. And then I just quit streaming altogether. Then I got like through a very dark time, and then suddenly a Santa gecko showed up in my YouTube feed, and that's where the ball got rolling. That's where it all started. But that's indeed the thing, that stalker behavior should absolutely not be tolerated in any way or form. And speaking about another story that happened, as you have mentioned, was a Camilla's thing. Wasn't there recently another, like somewhere in Japan, I think, a Japanese like girl streamer thing that was walking around in the streets, and people, like, there was a dude that literally figured out where she was and stabbed her to death? Wasn't that something that happened not too long ago, like a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, that did happen indeed. Yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just being interrupted by cat. Fucking but yeah. Aside from that parasocial thing, unless you wanted to add something to that, I don't know if there was another topic that you'd like to talk about, or yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the thing about parasocial is really bad, and I'm sorry that stuff happened to you before. I am really sorry for that, and I can understand that might be a horrible situation for you. And I really hope that those people went to jail. Um, but the I have some other topics as well. The shipping of VTubers and the sexualization of VTubers. There is a VTuber, by the way. My VTuber journey started with Spite. I don't know if you know her. So yeah, my VTuber story started with Spite.
Sorry, cat is
Yet
distracting me. But yes, I do
that's
know.
no problem.
I do know Spy.
Mhm. So basically, the shipping of VTubers. It's like there is a lot of VTubers that are being shipped. For example, Vidal and the creator of Neurosama, that person, like the model artist and rigging mama of Neurosama, they get shipped. Then there is a less known VTuber, I don't know the name, and another less known VTuber. They are being shipped together. Yeah, Neurosama indeed. No, Filian not. No, 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 no. Filian and Vidal are more of. Yeah, I'm reading the chat. They are more of like sibling shipping. Let's say it like that. Um, but like the shipping of VTubers is something that is also a. I mean, it's not really a big problem as long as you do not force said VTubers to actually date each other. It's fun and innocent when it's like, hey, you guys should date. You guys should go on a date together. That's fun banter. But the yeah, Vidal and Anna, I think indeed. Not sure, but yeah, it's just fun banter when that stuff happens. But when you actually start to like say, hey, when are you guys going on a date? When are you going to announce your relationship and stuff like that? That starts to become annoying if you mention it every single stream, even on posts. And um, like there is a limit of fan art that you can make, especially with NSFW fan art. If you decide to like make a fan art of two streamers or two VTubers that are, for example, running around in a park with a shovel, and the other one is running away, that's okay. But if you make NSFW art about streamers way too many times, that starts to become annoying. um, that is a problem with some other streamers, if I'm correct. If those streamers are known for those type of fan arts, then that's okay. That's okay. Make that fan art. But if they are not known for that type of fan art with other content creators, that becomes a bit creepy and also pushy, in my opinion. I like fan art. I don't care which kind of like what they do, but if I have been told many times to date a certain streamer, and then suddenly a bunch of NSFW fan art um, comes out, then yeah, don't do that. Just don't do that. It's something that is really annoying or can be really annoying.
I think it also depends on what people like allow with their community, right? If there is a VTuber that really encourages or is really open with NSFW content and is more or less encouraging that as well, then I feel like people should have the right to do so, as long, and that's a very important thing. NSFW art should always be allowed in case that, of course, one, the content creator or VTuber wants that, and two, if the rules of said NSFW artwork are met. Like I have like little image thing with all the rules that like the do's or don'ts basically when people make NSFW artwork of me. Um, and I'm already very open with things. It's just like I don't want to have like scats or piss or gore and all that kind of stuff. I don't want that. Fucking disgusting. Get out of here. Also no bestiality and all that kind of stuff. No, no, no. Absolutely fucking not. So that's why it is something that people have to be very clear on, like, hey, NSFW art is okay or not okay, and if it is okay, these are the rules. Simple as that. That people can do whatever the fuck they want. Um, and to me, like, if people make NSFW artwork of my model, then that's fine. And if I would still look at it as any other art piece. And recently, someone made an art piece of me getting fucked by this purple raccoon VTuber thing. I forgot his name. Wait, hang on. I need to see this on my NSFW Twitter. Um, Let me see here because yeah, recently someone commissioned an artist to do that. Monsoon Raccoon. There we go. So he commissioned an artist to make a very nice looking Menace of W artwork of me getting fucked, for example, which again I have no issues with because it's well within the rules of what I am comfortable with in terms of NSOW. Um, but it shouldn't indeed be like a thing of look at me, I have this fantasy of fucking Tabby or something like that, which in my opinion, like it is fine, but don't get creepy about it. Like I'm very open when it comes to people making arts of me, basically. And usually, whenever people do that, they always check, like double check with me first, like, hey, is this okay or is that okay? Again, which I encourage people to do. They don't have to do that as long as they respect the rules. But it's always nice when people reach out, like, hey, I have this NSW artwork had in mind of me and your models. Like, okay, sure. But then they specify some things like, yeah, okay, that's not okay. Which is absolutely fine. And then, of course, if the artwork comes out nice, then yeah, sure, like fuck it, let's go. um, but it indeed shouldn't be like a thing when it comes to like more stalker behavior. When it's people making art specifically, and a lot of it of me and a specific individual being, fucked all over the place, right? That's indeed when things should be like maybe you should stop doing that. Like if someone continues to make like images of me getting fucked by this one person in particular over and over again, like 30, 40 artworks in a row, then I would have like a little bit of an issue. Like, is everything okay? But if it's just like random stuff, like I really don't mind, and so that'll be a thing. To me, art is art. Art is art, like the Incredibles meme, of a Mr. Incredible girl. Like art is art, and like stomping the table, whatever. But that's indeed at least my take on like the sexualization of VTubers because it really depends on what the VTuber is comfortable with and the boundaries that they have set themselves. And those boundaries should be shared that people know, oh, these are the boundaries, we should respect them. If they don't respect those boundaries, that VTuber or content creator in particular has 100% the right to kick them out or not, or to deny them, whatever the fuck, right? Now, for in the chat, for people calling Spite the blue cinder, you basically summed it up perfectly to how Spite, like before the whole cinder thing, sorry to jump on this little thing, it's just what I saw in chat. Before the whole cinder situation, Spite was already a known VTuber, but now even more so because of Cinder's thing. Now, basically, people are just like shifting over from Cinder to Spite because it's like, oh, we basically have a better version of Cinder. We'll just go to fucking Spite. And that's literally what's happening right now. And like, of course, everything before that, Spite has done an amazing job in the things that she does, but it's just now even more so. It's like double that in terms of popularity because of Cinder's bullshit. So, but again, to go back to the sexualization, I get it. It depends on what the VTuber is comfortable with. Like, even if there are VTubers who have more boob than anything else, then I feel like you're kind of calling for it. You're kind of asking for it. But yeah. But what is your take on that?
So, first of all, I didn't know you have a NSFW. I did not know that. I just saw the art basically on your Discord. But yeah, I do think that when people with more boob than anything else, they do ask for that stuff. Indeed, I definitely agree with that. Yet, um, people making how do I say it? People making NSFW art with other content creators a bit too much. I think, me personally, I think that becomes a bit uh, creepy or even annoying. Like it's constantly that type of art style or that type of person. that you see across like from that same person or other person. It becomes really um like one Tony in Tony. I don't know how you say that. Um but yeah, like it's the same stuff over and over again. And that is something that I would say for me personally, when I have my VTuber model and stuff like that, people can definitely do that, but not too many times. It's something that there is a definitely a limit to how many times certain people can make um, art with another content creator till it gets annoying, if you know what I mean. Um, but I mean, I do definitely encourage it, but I am not going to ask for art with a specific person. People can make what they want, but not too much with the same person.
For example, to add to that, I actually did ask another VTuber by the name of Barefoot Electric, who is an absolutely amazing individual. I love her to bits. She's so fun. She's so quirky. Um, but I did ask her because I was like, you know what? I feel like, I could really vibe with her well. Um, and I felt like, you know what? I really like this individual. I really like her. I love her a lot. And then I asked her, hey, are you okay with having an NSFW artwork of you and me? Um, that's basically then what happened. We discussed things, what is okay, what isn't okay. And she really enjoyed it, like the way that she was drawn in the sense of not necessarily of the sexual act in itself, but more like the way, like the artistic part of it, not the sexual part of it, but the artistic way of how an artist that I work with regularly by the name of Naisho, and they've done an amazing job of drawing Bear's model, and she was really happy with that. And me too, actually. I was like, dude, she looks like about a million times better than I do in that artwork. And again, that artwork is out there. Um, and it is something that I feel like people should set their boundaries to what they're comfortable with or what they aren't comfortable with. But aside from that, any other topic or anything else that you would like to add to this?
Um, yes, the fear of starting out with, and that's probably going to be the last thing that I'm going to definitely be talking about. The fear of starting out as a VTuber or streamer, which is in many people's case a really big thing. Um, like I definitely people have been to your channel and be like, "Hey, how do I become a VTuber? How do I become a content creator? What is any tips or tricks that you can give me and stuff like that?" Me starting out like literally just 2 weeks now. Um, I am just basically streaming at this point. I'm going to take it more seriously when I have everything ready with overlays, with background, like background stuff, like you have, for example, and like a VTuber model. I'm going to wait to do it seriously. Like right now, I'm just doing a couple of hours, but as soon as I get that stuff all done and ready up, I'm definitely going to start streaming more frequently. It is like people are so afraid to Robert Ravensfly here. What? Okay. I don't get it. But people are way too afraid to start out. They are way too afraid, like, hey, what if I don't get any viewers? What if I don't get any people joining? Um, is have a follow. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. You just need to start out. You just need to do it. Basically, don't just go like have your concept ready. Have your don't change personalities. Be yourself, basically. because if you have to constantly change personalities, you're going to get a burnout. Also, do not be afraid to start with the small things. You don't instantly have to grow 500K views. You don't have to. Like Tabby is an amazing streamer, yet her views, I mean, not 29. I wish I had that. But like, it's you need to make sure that you are your own person. Tabby is a great example for that. She takes her time with every single one. She greets every single person that gets into the stream, and that is something that um, people think like, "Hey, if I'm starting out streaming, do I have to do the same? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that?" No, be yourself. Be however you like to be. It's not a contest, it's a hobby that you can definitely make into a job, but do not be a fake person. That is something that a lot of streamers think about. But also, if you're doing it for the money alone, you will fail. If you're thinking, hey, this is going to be easy money, no, it is not. Be yourself. Don't do it for the money. Do it for your hobby. Do it for the things that you like. For example, I'm a gamer. I like to play games. I like to play different type of games. I am becoming a streamer because I want to have a influence on people. I want to be there for other people. My tags are also mental health. Um, but like, I don't do it for the money. I just want to be out there, be heard, and help people with their situations. I'm a great people pleaser, as some people say it. But like, you need to make sure that when you become or start streaming, that is the time to learn. That is the time on how to get yourself out there. It's not a time to um, for example, it's not a time to start panicking about, hey, what game am I going to play? What am I going to do? It's a time to learn. Everyone has been there, even Tabby, even the bigger streamers. They all have been there with zero viewers. Take that time to really appreciate yourself and uh, the those couple of viewers that you actually have. Yeah.
That takes me back, though. That takes me back to my previous channel thing. Because again, some or a lot of people think that this is my first Twitch channel, which it isn't. My previous channel that I had like no viewers. It took me, how long would it have taken me? I think 4, 5 years, something along those lines, to get affiliate. And to get affiliate back in the day, you needed to have a minimum of, what was it, 3 average viewers or something along those lines. And even then, I didn't have that for 5 years. So it was something that it was just really difficult to do. And motivation wise, that was gone. Um, Motivation wise, that was absolutely fucking terrible. Um, but again, out of those people that then did figure out, like, where I used to live, um, that was something that I'd uh, rather not have me having now more viewers than I did with my previous one. But the thing is, like, Twitch wasn't exactly my main thing. Back then was more YouTube stuff that I did, which was then bigger than my Twitch at the time. But for Twitch specifically, for streaming specifically, it was definitely not exactly something that was successful, so to say. Right? Yeah, affiliate was an absolute hell to get. And with this channel, I actually got it like in 2 weeks or something like that. Um, but yeah, the story of how I started streaming now is, of course, already out there, which also mentioned earlier, with a Santa gecko popping up in my YouTube feed. But aside from that, I feel that people indeed still think that streaming is easy in terms of making it your main job. And it is nowadays literally near impossible. You might as well win the lottery at this point. Um, because back in the day when the internet was rather new, when Twitch was rather new, of course, then you had way more of a chance. Problem now is that literally anyone with some kind of a device, some kind of a phone, some kind of a console that isn't Nintendo, you can basically stream whatever you want on Twitch, right? And that's the thing. Anyone can pick it up. It is really easy to just start streaming. Because again, you can just start streaming for your phone, from your PC, from your PlayStation, most likely from your Xbox as well. But when people try to, like, when people want to start streaming, they basically want to start streaming most of the time, at least, because they see these very big content creators that are like, oh, I want to make video games my job, and it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out if that is the motivation that drives you. What should be the motivation to drive you forward is not necessarily what you want to achieve in terms of it having or it's being your job, right? It should be for the sake of the betterment for yourself and the things that you want to provide for your audience, regardless of what the fuck you do on the platform. And that's why my main goal on Twitch is not necessarily to be playing video games all the time. It is there to be there for the people who give a shit about me, basically. And therefore, I give a shit about everyone. I give a shit about every single person that does tune in and that doesn't tune in. And that's why, again, that's why I just want to do things for the people, to be able to have them enjoy their time with me. Because I'll be very honest, and people know this already about me, is that I am a very lonely person. I have basically no IRL friends. The only IRL friend that I have is Lanta, and that's it. Rob, also Lanta, who is my tech dude. Like, those are the only two, okay? Then my family is very fragmented. But yeah, those are like the only two IRL friends that I have, and I don't even see them regularly. It's been already, what, 3, 4 months that I've seen Lanta IRL, and that was when he was, when I still worked at a McDonald's, where he was basically, just checking in and seeing like what was going on. We're just saying a friendly hello, hi. But other than that, we don't meet up regularly or something like that. So that's why, again, I want to stream because I want to have some kind of an option for people to tune into and to talk to with me as they see me doing stupid shit. And hopefully have them join the community, which is all about the betterment of the people themselves. And to also provide a space for people to not be lonely anymore, because I know how it is still to this day, how lonely the world can be despite us having access to the internet, despite us, being able to talk to hundreds of people online in a fraction of a second. But still, we are more than ever disconnected from one another. And that's something that I want to fix. That's something that I want to help out with other people, that if they are struggling, if they are lonely, that they have a place to turn to, that they have someone to talk to. Because not everyone has that. And that's something that I want to provide. And I just don't want people to feel the same way as I've done. That's why I started streaming. And that's also why every time that someone tunes in, every person that is new, and every person that returns, every person that I keep talking to, I will always greet them the exact same way. I will always say, hi, welcome in. How are things? How are you doing? I'll also talk to them about things that are going on in their life, for example. For example, with Ninjo, I'm going to call out the French again. Like, I sometimes ask, like, hey, how is the job? Or Ninjo's being French, or fuck you, the French are ours. Yeah, the fries are ours, not the French. Ninja, you can keep the French, but the fries are ours. But, stuff like that. But yeah, that's something that I just want to keep doing, to have a personalized and genuine, heartfelt um, thing for everyone to tune into. And I want to be everyone's friend, and I want to be there for everyone. And that's the bottom line of why I started streaming. And I feel like everyone who does start out should have some kind of a similar thing, some kind of a drive that isn't necessarily about making the channel specifically the thing that, that that makes it. It should be you as an individual as well, and the value that you want to give to your audience, to your community.
Yes, indeed. I have it the same way. It started thundering at my place, by the way. Um, I have the same thing with that. In my opinion, is that I want to stream to make people happy. I do want to make it big, yes, but there is a reason for that. I want to be able to organize tournaments and stuff like that for people to earn some money. That is why I want to make it big, because without that stuff, I definitely cannot help people on that part. I don't need to live in a big ass mansion. I do not need to live in uh, whatever kind of place. I just want to make sure that people are okay. That in the end of at the end of a hard day's work, that they can tune into my stream and be welcome, be felt, be heard, um, be talked to. That I don't have to be alone. That is also why I want to make sure that everyone is mentally stable. If they have problems, that they can talk to me, or a community that they can rely on, having their backs. Um, it is something that is a sad thing that is happening indeed. The We might say that we have a lot of friends online, but in the end, the realist or the realism of that part is we are physically alone. We rather sit inside than go outside. We rather talk to someone we have met on a game, or we or stuff like that, than we go outside and talk to random people. Um, Loneliness is really sad, and I know a thing or two about loneliness as well. I do have work, I do have colleagues that I talk to, but they are not the people that I can talk with on a regular basis, sadly enough. Um, but yeah, it's like I said, the streams and stuff like that. I have a saying that I got, like my brother told me that saying, and I do it as well. Expect the worst, hope for the best. That means, um, like it says actually, it means what it says. Expect that you are going to fail. Expect that you are going to be disappointed in something, but hope for the best. Hope that something is going to work out. Hope that something is um, like going be okay and stuff like that. But the thing is, if you expect the worst or expect the bad thing, it will come less of a punch. It will come less destroying or painful than if you constantly hope for a good thing. For example, I have been waiting on my PC for 5 months in total. Um, and I constantly hoped for the best. I constantly hoped. And it eventually, my brother told me this, and to be honest, it worked. I expected the worst and hoped for the best. And every single time that I heard, like, hey, you have this bill to pay, or hey, you cannot buy that because you need to do that, for example, yeah, then it comes less of a punch. It comes less of a disappointment than I expected it to be. And yeah, that's the same with streaming. I expect the worst, or I expect less, but I hope for the best. I hope for more. And that is all I can basically say or do, because streaming eventually is 90% luck and 10% skill. You have to be lucky to be seen. You have to be lucky to have someone scrolling on Twitch or on TikTok or on YouTube to actually see you and decide, hey, this is a funny guy or this is a really nice person, and subscribe, follow, and actually come back to your stream. Also, networking is a really important thing, but that's something else. But definitely do expect the worst. Do expect that you're going to fail. Um, but hope for the best. Hope that you are going to make it. But yeah, that's basically what I have to say.
So to add to that is actually kind of funny that whenever I started out as a PNG tuber, um, I did talk to the community before when it was way smaller than it is today about me getting a VTuber model at some points, and I would want it to be the best quality that I could at that time afford. And then people were crazy, in which case, all of you, and especially fucking Daku and Cake, were absolutely going crazy with their stuff. So it is definitely something that I owe the community, and that's why I always keep saying it that um, the people who support me, regardless of how much they have supported me, whether it is financially or mentally or just by being here, doesn't matter. Whatever people have done for me is something I will appreciate for the rest of my life. Because I would not be here if it wasn't for them. I would not be here anymore if it wasn't for all of you. And that's just harsh truth that you guys should always know. And just because I named those two names doesn't mean that they have, some kind of more of recognition or anything. However, people want to support me is entirely up to them. I have no say in that, right? I'm just a dumb bitch on the internet. Whether you guys want to support me is entirely up to you. I will never ask anything of you guys. Um, but I still want to support all of you in any way or form that I can. And that's why I really wanted to have like the best possible quality for all of you. So, another thing is that before I had my model, people were telling me like, yeah, your model's gonna be so fucking amazing. You will see that you're gonna blow up. There's gonna be so many people in, and it's gonna be, amazing. It's gonna be hundreds of viewers. Everyone's gonna see you. And while my average viewer count did increase, it isn't, so to say, like as like tenfold, fivefold, or threefold even. At the time when I was a PNG tuber, I maybe had 10, 15, something like that, um, average viewers. But in terms of like the exposure, the model didn't really help much. The model and the theme that we got going on basically is the start or the stepping stone for like the general theme of what the visually is there for the stream, right? But other than that, it didn't really help much for like, oh, like everyone's going to see this and it's a crazy model that no one has seen before. And that's also why I don't really like going like with other people's like kind of content in terms of their model, what they look like and whatever. But yeah, for me, I just like being myself. I just like showing things that I love. And my model is literally that. My model is a fusion dance of four characters that I like. That's it. So again, it's all up to the audience, all up to the community, what they enjoy. But yeah, anything else that you would like to add to this, or was that a bit the things that you would like to share with this podcast?
I do have some things to add to it. The fact is that you're completely right about that. People say, "Hey, as soon as you get your model and stuff like that, you will blow up." Like I said, expect the worst, expect disappointment, but hope for the best. You are in my eyes, in my opinion, you are a great streamer. You are an amazing person. Um, but like, it's sad that a lot of people haven't discovered you yet. Um, but you also do the right things. You do networking and stuff like that. You do community events and all that. It's sad that people have not discovered you yet because I'm quite sure that they would love to be here. In my opinion, they are just missing out. But that is what I think of it. Um, but like VTube models can be so expensive. I want a general Gothic team as well. I want to be a vampire. And I already have everything planned. I have my community name. I have my Discord. I have my IDs for what I want, and I wanted to be as well perfect for every single person that they when they come across my stream, that they say like, "Hey, this person is amazing." But I don't expect that. I don't expect people to see my model and be like, "Hey, this person is amazing." I hope, but I don't expect it. It is just that. Um, a lot of people indeed like you said, they think about monetary gain. They think about, hey, VTubers, they earn a lot of money. Yeah, they do. 2 years ago, if you were a VTuber 2 years ago or even 5 years ago, you could definitely bring in some cash with VTubing. Right now, if you just start out, you have to do way more networking. You have to do way more talking to other people, getting your name out there just to have a average viewer count of what Tabby has right now. But like I said, Tabby, you definitely deserve more than um, 25 stream viewers. But for those 25 viewers, you guys are amazing for doing this for Tabby, uh, showing up every stream. That is amazing of you guys. Also, thank you for the people who are here and supported Tabby in her dreams. I hope that I have this the same amount of love when I start out with everything that I want.
To that, Robert, I would wish you the best with all the things and all your endeavors that you will be on during your streaming career. But I do hope that that's also going to happen. But just like you said before, like don't or expect the worst, hope for the best kind of thing. It's not that I'm not. It's not that I'm saying that's not going to happen. It's just that it's going to be very difficult. And I know from a fact, again, especially with my previous Twitch channel, that it is extremely fucking difficult. I'm just really lucky at this point. And I know that people are still saying like, "Oh, Tabby, you deserve way more viewers and this and that." To which I'm saying every time, I don't think that is going to happen. I don't think that I'm going to be some kind of a VTuber that has like an average viewer count of 1,000 or 2,000 plus, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Um, Purely because I don't make the same kind of content as those bigger VTubers do. Um, and besides, the content that I do on Twitch or YouTube, oh, for that matter, aren't exactly the main focus anyway. Because my main focus is you guys, not what I put on my channels. And it's also something that I've said before. This entire thing, whether it is the Twitch channel, the YouTube channel, the Discord thing, has never been about me. It's always been about all of you guys.
Yeah, definitely. The people in this community, I would not say that I do it for myself either. I want to be able to help people. That is something of my dreams. I always wanted a job to help people. If VTubing turns out to become a job for to help people, that would be a dream come true. I don't do it for the content. I don't do it for the gains. I do it to help people mentally, monetary gain either. I don't care about that. I want to be able to give people some help that they need, basically. Like if people need like 20 euros, that's why I want to organize tournaments for people to earn a little bit of cash, because I know people have it hard in money ways, um, in financial situations that they are in. That's what I want. What I want to do. I want to be able to help people. Um, if that's through streaming or through something else, I don't really care. I hope it's through streaming, of course. But if that doesn't happen, then eventually I will just move on from the job that I have right now to a different job where I can actually help people with their problems and with maybe even financial situations and stuff like that. Yeah, but you definitely do deserve more viewers, and I know you
Um,
say
I don't think that I don't think I'm going to be having some kind of a huge following or anything. Sorry to interrupt, by the way. But something that I would like to add though, to what you've said before about like VTubers making a lot of money, as in those with thousands of viewers or whatever, they do make a lot of money. And also it depends on, of course, on the individual viewer or how many viewers do want to, sub or donate or something along those lines. I don't mind being transparent about the amount of money that I make. And again, I feel wrong. I feel so wrong to me to say that I make this money. It's you guys giving me stuff, to which I keep saying don't because it's a lot. But you guys keep doing it anyway. But on average, like, and again, I don't mind sharing that. On average per month, I would earn I'm not earning anything. I don't earn this shit. I don't deserve this shit either. The things that you guys do for me is absolutely fucking insane. To which I will always appreciate that. But god damn it, stop. So, I am being given, see, I'm not going to say I earn, I'm going to say I am being given on average per month between a six and $700 mark. Of course, that is, I still need to apply taxes and whatever. But that's about like what I on a month get from you guys. So I'm just saying that's a lot of money. Please stop. There's a reason why I keep saying that because again, I know how expensive life is. And of course, the moment that I say that, fucking Spatula is like, hey, I heard that you don't like buddy. Here, have money. Fuck you, Spatula, good or bad. Um, but again, that is something that, again, I want to be absolutely clear that you guys take care of yourself first and foremost, okay? Because I know how expensive life is. I know how life can fuck you over financially in so many ways. And people who know me in the past couple of months, remember that shit with that thing that I had to pay from the energy fucking company? I'm still paying for that. I'm still paying off that shit. Remember that fucking thing with my car that I had? I also have to still pay that shit. Remember that fucking thing with my roof? That has been paid, but that's also thanks to you guys. But again, those are just examples of just how life can just throw random shit at you and just fuck you over like that. And that's why I would rather have you guys spend your own hard-earned money that you guys worked for, that you guys work for so fucking hard to yourself, okay? Please, please do that. Treat yourself and treat your loved ones first and foremost, okay? Take care of yourself, have some savings for the future, and that, that's okay, all right? I'll be okay. Now with my new
I mean,
job, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about me. Um, so that's something that I would like to add. And before I interrupted you, what were you going to say?
um, I actually don't remember what I was about to say, but I do want to say if they want to donate to you, then that's their God-given right. And for real, spatula, or yeah, the golden spatula, you're a badass guy for doing that. But they, the people that donate or that sub to you, in my opinion, that is their own God-given right. Yeah, I know it's like um like you are indeed being given some people like some streamers they actually say I earned this amount of streaming and stuff like that. But indeed you are right about that. That is being given to them. It's not being earned. You do not work for that money. You are being given that, and some people need to be so thankful for that. There are people that are complaining about, hey, you have hours and hours upon time to look at my content and don't donate anything. Like you're poor, like you're poor. You cannot even give me like $5, but you can watch my free content, which is actually free for a reason. But that is something that those kind of streamers I wish I could reach through the screen and give them a slap in the face. That is something that I indeed you guys don't have $5 to donate. Indeed, that's the person. Yep. I wish those kind of streamers I want to reach through the screen and slap them in the face because they do not deserve the amount of viewers that they have. They do not appreciate their viewers for giving them that money, not earning it, giving it. And people definitely need to make sure that they are known to be respected, like you guys are. Um, but like Olivier is saying, he treats himself to donate to you. That is his way of treating himself for a good month's work. And that is something that I'm definitely doing after my prime expires with someone else. I'm giving that to you because I think you deserve that. And to be honest, I'm kind of tired of the ads as well. But no, no. Oh, you bet. Thank you. Okay, thank you. That was not that. No, that. Hold on. Give me your PayPal. I'll pay that shit back. That's something that I did not want to do. But thank you so much for that. But yeah, it's like you deserve that. Get gifted. Okay, yeah. You deserve this because you do so much for your community that those people that are sitting right there watching your streams that they want to give you something in return for your content. Not everyone appreciates that the way that you do. You know what I mean? Like you definitely deserve this, even if you say you don't. You do, and you need to accept that. I'm sorry to say it like that on a rude way. I really apologize for that, but you need to accept that those people love your content. Those people love the way that what you do. So please accept that stuff. Also, I'm going to make sure that yeah, sorry, I'm talking to myself. Uh,
Okay. So with that $5 thing, I instantly remembered that fucking clip that was that one chick that was like sitting in a chair. Yeah, you guys
mhm.
are all here. You guys are watching me for hours on end and don't even give me $5. Why are you guys so poor? Why are you guys spending time? It's like, bitch, you should be fucking lucky. You should be fucking thankful on your fucking knees for people that tuned in. And that's something
Indeed.
that I just really, that's something that I do every single time when people tune in. That's why there's also a reason why, as in one of the reasons why I keep saying hello to everyone that I see, because I am thankful for them just being here already. They don't even need to say anything. They don't even need to give me anything. I'm already happy for people just being here. And I will always be thankful for that. And when people do crazy shit like that I will just like be on my hands and knees, be like, fucking thank you for everything that you guys have done for me, but don't give me money. Treat yourself first and foremost. But yeah,
Yeah, but
that is
that is the
it's crazy just how people just just do that. But that's the thing, Robert. That's the thing. I want people to be spent. They deserve just as much love and things as anyone else. So they should just give it to me. They just should treat themselves first and foremost. That I just most of the time don't understand why they would give it to me instead.
because they love you. They love the way that you do, how you are.
By the way, Crab, during a podcast, it's something different. I don't want to say, it's not that I don't want to say hi, but during the podcast, I try to focus on the conversation at hand and the participant with me. But aside from that, when we're not doing a podcast, I say hi to literally every person that I say. But because you said that, okay, I say hi to you, Great Crab Hype, and I demand everyone in chat to say hi to Great Crab Hype. There you go.
Hi, crap. How are
But
you today?
again, the people that do tune in the community are just so much of a blessing, really. And again, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. But I suppose that was the final topic that you wanted to talk about. We also kind of need to wrap
Yes.
things up.
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed this podcast thing, something that you were really looking forward to. I
Hmm.
suppose I remember this you being very hyped for it. And it's always fun to be able to talk to people in this way, in this format, with us taking turns, so we actually have free speech for everyone to say whatever we want without being interrupted. And that's exactly why I don't want to interrupt people, because then sometimes people just forget what they actually wanted to say. So that's why it happened now. So that's why I just wanted to have that done in that way. Now, before we end the podcast shenanigan, I would like to do something that we always do at the end of every podcast. In which case, I will give you a minute. I'm going to grab my phone. I will give you a minute to basically say whatever you want in terms of maybe some kind of promotion thing or something that you'd really like to say or share. That doesn't have to be around this topic. It can be about it. It can be about the topic, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. But I will set a timer in a minute or 4 minutes. I will let you know when the timer starts. But just so we know, are the things clear on what you're supposed to do in just a bit?
Okay.
All right, cool. So the timer goes in 3, 2, 1.
So, first of all, thank you for having me on this podcast. I love your channel. Thank you for giving me the chance to appear here. Secondly, I want to give a shout out to Tabby. She is amazing. My name is Robert Ravensfly. I am a starting VTuber. I want to become bigger, of course, but yeah, that's basically it. I want to help you guys. I want to help everyone, making sure that they are okay, and of course, hang out with you. Yeah, that's basically it. But Tabby, really, I appreciate everything you're doing for your community. I appreciate everything you're doing for everyone that enters.
And that is the minutes. Okay. Thank you so very much for those kind words. And I was thinking, God damn it, it better not be about me. And what is that minute about? It is about me. God damn it, Robert. But again, I do this because I care about all of you, okay? I give a shit about all of you. And I love you all so very much, okay? Like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so very much for being here. And again, if you want to DM me, always more than welcome. There's no requirements, there's no paywall or anything. You can just talk to me whatever you want. I'm just a regular bitch on the internet, so don't worry about that. But again, I do hope that you guys enjoyed the podcast of Chamber Chatter episode 4. That would be with Robert. And yeah, if you guys want to sign up for the podcast, it is very simple to do so. Just head over to our Discord and check the podcast sign up channel thing where you can register, and then you would be good to go. But thank you so very much, everyone, for tuning into the podcast. And I would say that remember that I love you all for being you.